The Young and the Restless kicks off the week of May 11th to 15th with a tense and unpredictable atmosphere in Genoa City, where nothing feels stable and every conversation seems to carry hidden meaning. At the center of this early week drama is Michael Baldwin, who suddenly finds himself pulled into a situation that feels far more complicated than a simple legal discussion. Michael is face to face with Phyllis Summers, and right away, it's clear that she is not approaching this situation like someone who is cornered. Instead, Phyllis carries her usual confidence, mixed with a sharp edge of urgency. She has been under intense pressure lately, especially with the legal threats hanging over her head, but instead of breaking down, she appears to be recalculating her next move. Michael, who has dealt with countless high-stakes situations in Genoa City, tries to stay calm and professional. But even he can sense that something about Phyllis's tone is different this time. It's not desperation, it's strategy. And that makes him even more cautious. He asks her directly if he is understanding her correctly. Is she really planning to make a deal? On the surface, it sounds like Phyllis might be considering a compromise, possibly stepping away from Newman Enterprises or reducing her involvement in order to avoid serious legal consequences. For Michael, that would be the logical and safest outcome. A clean exit, a controlled resolution, and a way to prevent things from spiraling further out of control. But Phyllis Summers has never been someone who chooses the straightforward path. Instead of confirming or denying anything clearly, she responds in a way that immediately shifts the energy in the room. She doesn't give Michael the reassurance he's looking for. Instead, she hints that she may have something far more valuable in mind than just a simple deal or surrender. This instantly puts Michael on alert. He has known Phyllis long enough to recognize when she is holding back information. And right now, she is definitely holding back. Her expression, her tone, even the way she carefully chooses her words, it all suggests that she is not just reacting to pressure, but actively planning something behind the scenes. Michael begins to wonder if Phyllis is actually preparing a completely different strategy. Instead of accepting consequences or stepping back quietly, she may be positioning herself for a power move that could shift the entire situation in her favor. The problem is, when Phyllis Summers takes risks, they are never small risks. They are bold, aggressive, and often unpredictable. And Michael knows from experience that those kinds of moves can either completely change the game or completely destroy everything involved. As the conversation continues, the tension between them quietly builds. Michael tries to stay grounded, reminding Phyllis, both directly and indirectly, that the legal pressure she is under is serious. There are real consequences now. This is no longer just corporate rivalry or personal conflict. It has escalated into something much more dangerous, where one wrong decision could lead to prison time. Phyllis listens, but she doesn't show the reaction Michael expects. There's no panic. No surrender. Instead, there is calculation. As if she is already several steps ahead in a plan she hasn't fully revealed yet. Michael starts to realize that convincing her to take the safe route may not be possible anymore. Phyllis isn't thinking about survival in the traditional sense. She is thinking about control. About leverage. About how to turn a losing situation into something she can still influence. This is what makes her so unpredictable and so dangerous in moments like this. The more Michael presses for clarity, the more careful Phyllis becomes with her responses. She doesn't deny that she is considering options, but she also doesn't confirm what those options are. Instead, she leaves Michael with fragments of ideas, just enough to raise concern, but not enough to fully understand her direction. And that uncertainty begins to frustrate him. From Michael's perspective, Phyllis is playing with fire. If she pushes too far or miscalculates even slightly, the consequences won't just be legal, they could completely destroy her standing in Genoa City. And once that happens, there may be no way to recover. But Phyllis seems to accept that risk. Or at least, she is willing to live with it. There's a shift in the conversation where it becomes clear that Phyllis is not asking for advice anymore. She is preparing for action. Whatever she is planning, it is not something she intends to abandon easily. Michael watches her closely, trying to read between the lines. He has seen Phyllis under pressure before, but this version of her feels different. More controlled. More focused. Less emotional, more strategic. And that makes him even more concerned. Because when Phyllis Summers stops reacting emotionally and starts thinking strategically under pressure, it usually means she is about to take a bold and unpredictable step. By the end of their exchange, Michael is left with more questions than answers. He doesn't know exactly what Phyllis is planning, but he strongly senses that it is not going to be simple damage control. It is going to be something bigger, something that could ripple across multiple lives in Genoa City. As Phyllis walks away, the uncertainty lingers. Michael is left standing with the uneasy feeling that whatever comes next, he may not be able to stop it. And in Genoa City, when Phyllis Summers has a plan that even Michael Baldwin can't fully decode, it usually means trouble is already on its way. The tension in Genoa City continues to rise as the focus shifts to the Newman family, where emotional pressure and suspicion begin to surface in unexpected ways. This time, it's Adam Newman who finds himself stepping into uncomfortable territory with his brother Nick Newman. At first, Adam doesn't directly accuse Nick of anything. Instead, he circles around the issue carefully, choosing his words in a way that shows he is trying not to escalate things too quickly. But there is an obvious concern behind his tone, something he has been observing, something he can't fully ignore anymore. Nick, however, quickly grows impatient with the indirect approach. He has dealt with enough family conflict and accusations over the years, and he is not in the mood for vague questioning. The frustration builds as Adam continues to dance around what he really wants to say. Finally, Nick pushes him. He demands clarity. If Adam has something to say, then he needs to say it directly. That's when Adam finally brings it out into the open. In the weekly preview, Adam asks Nick a question that immediately shifts the entire tone of the conversation. He asks if Nick is using again. The question hits hard. It's not just casual concern, it's deeply personal, and it strikes at a vulnerable part of Nick's past. Addiction is not a topic Nick takes lightly, and being confronted with it, especially by Adam, makes the situation even more emotionally charged. Nick reacts with frustration. From his point of view, Adam's question may feel like an accusation rather than concern. He doesn't appreciate being placed under that kind of scrutiny, especially by someone he already has a complicated relationship with. But Adam's intention is not purely confrontational. Beneath the bluntness, there is a layer of genuine concern. He has noticed changes in Nick's behavior, or at least things that have made him uneasy enough to ask the question out loud. The tension between the brothers builds as neither of them fully steps back. Nick pushes against the implication, while Adam tries to hold his ground, insisting that he is not trying to attack him but instead trying to understand what is going on. It becomes a classic Newman family moment, emotional history, unresolved tension, and protective instincts all colliding at once. As the conversation continues, there is a possibility that Nick may start to see Adam's concern differently. Even though the delivery is uncomfortable, the intention behind it might not be as hostile as it first appears. Adam, in his own way, may simply be trying to check on his brother before things spiral further. If Nick steps back and processes the situation calmly, he might realize that Adam is not trying to bring him down, but rather trying to make sure he is okay. Still, pride and frustration are powerful forces, and Nick is not someone who easily accepts being questioned about his stability or choices. That internal conflict leaves the situation hanging in a tense balance. By the end of their exchange, nothing is fully resolved. There is no reconciliation yet, and no clear answer about Nick's condition or state of mind. Instead, what remains is emotional tension, two brothers standing on opposite sides of a difficult conversation, both unwilling to fully let go of their perspectives. As tensions rise across Genoa City, a completely different kind of storyline begins to unfold at Crimson Lights. While others are caught in legal battles, family conflict, and emotional confrontations, two unpredictable figures suddenly cross paths, and their meeting could create chaos no one sees coming. Matt Clark arrives at Crimson Lights carrying more questions than answers. Ever since his return, there has been an air of mystery surrounding him. He is back in town, but he is not the same man many people remember. With memories missing and pieces of his past still unclear, Matt is trying to understand where he fits in a city that clearly remembers him better than he remembers himself. That alone makes him dangerous. Because when someone with a troubled history returns without fully knowing who they were, every encounter becomes unpredictable. Old enemies may still hold grudges. old secrets may still be waiting to explode. And Matt is stepping into all of it without a clear map. Inside Crimson Lights, he unexpectedly crosses paths with Patty Williams. The moment is subtle, but meaningful. Matt says something that prompts Patty to smile, creating an instant shift in energy. It's not dramatic or loud, but it feels important. There is an unusual spark in the interaction, as if both of them sense something familiar in the other. Even if Patty does not immediately recognize Matt, she may feel that he understands the kind of chaos and struggle she knows all too well. Both Patty and Matt share something in common: complicated histories. They are people who have made mistakes, stirred trouble, and carried emotional baggage through Genoa City for years. Neither one fits neatly into the category of hero or villain. They are layered, damaged, unpredictable, and that often creates the strongest connections. Patty has changed a lot over time, at least on the surface. She now presents herself as someone focused on healing, rehabilitation, and redemption. She wants others to believe that growth is possible and that people can become better than their past. Whether everyone believes her is another question entirely. Still, if Patty sees Matt as someone struggling to reclaim himself, she may feel drawn to help him. Not just out of kindness, but because helping Matt may also validate her own belief that people like them deserve another chance. For Matt, Patty may represent something different. At a time when many people in town may judge him or fear what his return means, Patty could be one of the few people willing to listen without immediate rejection. That kind of acceptance can be powerful, especially for someone who feels disconnected from his own identity. But there is also a darker possibility. Sometimes, two misunderstood people finding each other leads to healing. Other times, it leads to chaos. Matt and Patty together could become a surprising alliance, one built on shared pain, resentment, and the desire to prove something to the rest of Genoa City. If that happens, their bond could affect far more people than anyone expects. The city has seen dangerous pairings before: people who encouraged each other's worst instincts while convincing themselves they were justified. If Matt is vulnerable and Patty is still more unstable than she appears, that combination could be explosive. As they continue talking, Matt may open up about what he has already experienced since returning. He may admit that he has heard negative things about himself. That people react strongly to his presence. That even without his memories, he can feel the hostility surrounding his name. Imagine trying to rebuild your life while hearing only the worst stories about who you used to be. That kind of emotional pressure can break a person or push them toward the wrong people for comfort. Patty, hearing this, may offer sympathy. She knows what it feels like to be judged by your past. She knows what it means to want people to believe you have changed. And she may tell Matt that redemption is possible for him too. That is where things become truly interesting. Because Patty offering redemption can be sincere or manipulative. She may genuinely want to help Matt find peace. Or she may see him as someone she can influence, guide, or even use in a larger game she hasn't revealed yet. Matt, meanwhile, may not realize how complicated Patty truly is. If he is emotionally lost and searching for connection, he could trust her far too quickly. By the end of their first meeting, nothing dramatic has happened on the surface. No shouting, no shocking confession, no public explosion. But beneath that calm introduction, something has begun. A connection. A possibility. An alliance. And in Genoa City, some of the most dangerous storylines don't begin with violence or scandal, they begin with a simple smile in a coffee shop. As the week continues, everyone may be focused on PHYLLIS, the Newmans, and the legal drama surrounding them. But quietly, in the background, Matt and Patty may be forming a bond that could shake the city in ways no one is prepared for. Sometimes the biggest trouble starts where no one is looking. While many residents of Genoa City are busy dealing with their own personal chaos, the news of Matt Clark's return is beginning to spread faster than anyone expected. And with every new person who hears about it, the reaction becomes stronger. For some, Matt's return is confusing. For others, it is deeply unsettling. There are people in town who remember exactly who Matt used to be, and those memories are not pleasant. His name carries history, conflict, and unresolved emotions. Even before he says much or takes any action, simply being back in Genoa City is enough to reopen old wounds. That kind of presence can be powerful. Sometimes a person doesn't need to do anything dramatic to create tension. Sometimes their existence alone is enough to shake the room. That appears to be exactly what is happening with Matt. One of the clearest signs of this comes during a face-off with Noah Newman. Their interaction quickly reveals that Matt's return is not being welcomed by everyone. There is immediate friction, strong emotion, and the sense that Noah has no interest in pretending everything is fine. For Noah, seeing Matt back in town may trigger protective instincts. The Newman family has faced more than enough threats and betrayal over the years, and someone like Matt returning unexpectedly may feel like the beginning of another problem. Noah has matured over time, but he still carries that strong Newman instinct to defend the people he loves. If he believes Matt's presence could bring pain or danger to the family again, he won't stay silent. The confrontation likely leaves Matt with an uncomfortable truth. Even without his memories, even without knowing the full story of his past, he can clearly see that people react to him with anger, distrust, and hostility. That realization can be crushing. Imagine trying to rebuild your life while being judged for actions you can't even remember. Imagine walking into a town where people hate the version of you that you no longer recognize. Matt may begin to feel trapped between two identities. There is the man he is now, confused, searching, trying to understand himself. And there is the man Genoa City remembers, someone whose past actions still cause emotional reactions today. The more those two identities clash, the more unstable his future becomes. If enough people treat Matt like a threat, there is always the risk that he begins acting like one. That's the danger of rejection. Sometimes when a person feels they can't escape their reputation, they stop trying. At the same time, not everyone may be against him. Some could believe Matt deserves a second chance, especially if he truly has changed or if memory loss has given him a rare opportunity to start over. Others may remain cautious, wanting proof before trust. That divide could create major conflict across town. Some residents may demand he leave. Others may argue that everyone deserves redemption. And in the middle of it all stands Matt, trying to decide whether to fight for acceptance, walk away, or embrace the darkness everyone expects from him. Meanwhile, Patty Williams may continue to play a growing role in his journey. If she becomes one of the few people treating him with compassion, Matt could lean on her more than anyone realizes. That connection may comfort him. Or it may guide him toward more dangerous choices. Because when someone feels rejected by an entire town, the one person offering support can suddenly become the most influential voice in their life. As the week moves forward, Matt's return is no longer just personal, it becomes public. People begin talking. Rumors spread. Old stories resurface. And every retelling of the past makes the tension worse. Genoa City is now forced to confront a question it wasn't ready for. Has Matt Clark truly changed, or is this the calm before another storm? For now, no one knows the answer. But one thing is certain, his return has already changed the atmosphere of the city, and the biggest consequences may still be ahead. As the week of May 11th to 15th continues, Genoa City stands at a crossroads. Secrets are spreading, emotions are rising, and several lives are moving toward turning points that may be impossible to reverse. What began as separate conflicts now feels connected, with every storyline building toward something bigger. At the center of it all is uncertainty. No one knows what Phyllis Summers will do next. No one knows whether Nick Newman is truly struggling or simply being misunderstood. And no one knows if Matt Clark's return will lead to healing or complete chaos. That tension gives the entire city a feeling that something major is about to happen. Phyllis remains one of the biggest wildcards. Her conversation with Michael Baldwin made one thing clear: she is not ready to surrender quietly. Even with serious consequences hanging over her, Phyllis still believes she can outmaneuver the people around her. That confidence has helped her survive many times before. But this situation feels different. The legal pressure is real. The risks are higher. And if she miscalculates now, there may be no easy way back. Michael understands this, which is why his concern continues to grow. He knows Phyllis well enough to recognize when she is about to make a bold move, and he also knows those moves often come with collateral damage. So the question becomes, is Phyllis about to save herself, or destroy everything around her trying? Meanwhile, the Newman family remains emotionally fragile. Adam confronting Nick may have come from genuine concern, but it also exposed how much tension still exists between them. Trust has never come easily in that family, and even moments of support can feel like attacks when old wounds remain open. If Nick is dealing with something privately, he now faces a difficult choice. He can shut everyone out and carry it alone, or allow someone, even Adam, to help him before things get worse. Sometimes pride prevents healing more than pain does. And in families like the Newmans, pride is never in short supply. Then there is Matt Clark, whose return may become the most unpredictable story of all. He stands between two paths. One path leads toward redemption. If he truly wants a better future, if he is willing to face the damage of his past and rebuild honestly, then Genoa City may eventually give him a chance. But the second path is far darker. If rejection, confusion, and anger consume him, Matt could become exactly what people fear. A man pushed back into old habits by a town unwilling to believe he can change. That is what makes his connection with Patty Williams so important. Patty may encourage growth, healing, and self-worth. Or she may become the person who helps justify revenge. With Patty, it is never easy to know where sincerity ends and chaos begins. As rumors about Matt spread, reactions across town are likely to intensify. Some people will demand distance. Others may feel sympathy. And every divided opinion adds more pressure to a man already struggling with identity. Sometimes people become who the world insists they are. That possibility should worry everyone. By the end of the week, Genoa City may look the same on the surface, same streets, same offices, same coffee shop conversations, but underneath, everything could be shifting. Relationships may crack. Alliances may form. Trust may be broken. And one shocking decision could send multiple lives into crisis. That is what makes this week so dangerous. Every character seems to be standing one step away from a life-changing moment, whether they realize it or not. Phyllis is planning. Nick is resisting. Adam is watching. Matt is searching. Patty is smiling. And when all those forces move at once, Genoa City rarely survives without damage. The biggest question now is simple. Who will find redemption? And who will become the next disaster? One thing is certain, the story is only getting started, and the fallout could be unforgettable.